Shawn McAnalley here with Dr. Bill McAnalley, the expert on apoptosis. Guys, we're going to talk about something today that's a lot of people are concerned about. You hear about it a lot, but we've talked about this Nrf2 pathway and the activation of it and how it can is activated through different plants that we eat, you know, that we don't normally get in our diets, but they are available to us on this planet. But these plants contain adaptogens, or are adaptogens, which helps our body to adapt to things. Well, one thing that really concerns a lot of people is heavy metal toxicity, okay? And there's more to it than most people maybe think about eating tuna. Eating too much tuna, they'll get some mercury poisoning or something like that. Or lead toxicity, you know, when used to gasoline had lead in it. You know, paint had lead in it. Things like that. But our body is actually designed to remove that, believe it or not, if that so happens to us, which really in life you're going to be exposed to it no matter how hard you try not to be. It's just going to happen. You know, the dirtier we get as people, the dirtier the ocean gets, I'm sure eventually the fish are going to have all kinds of stuff in them. Same thing with the plants and everything else. But our bodies are designed to remove it. Now, are they supposed to be removing large amounts of it? No, you need to do the best you can not to eat that stuff in the first place. But it's going to be unavoidable, period, no matter how hard you try. So one thing you got to think about is the good Lord, our Creator, He made us to where we can get rid of that stuff. But the thing about it is you got to eat the right things in order to get rid of that, to help that activate that one pathway we're talking about, that Nrf2 pathway, okay? So keep that in mind as you listen and learn. There are certain things out there that can really help the body to do its job in removing these toxins. Go ahead, Dr. Bill.
Thank you again, Shawn. That's a very good introduction. Mm-hmm. When I worked at the Environmental Protection Agency, they were just now, that was in the 70s. Mm-hmm. They were collecting a lot of information, and it's interesting. The transformers, you know, when they blow up, mm-hmm. they had.
We're not talking about Optimus Prime. We're talking about on a telephone pole.
On a telephone pole.
Gotcha.
Every now and then you'll hear lightning strike one, and they blow up. Mm-hmm. And the oil in there had polychlorinated biphenyls. Mm-hmm. And so they tested all the oceans, the deepest places they could test, mm-hmm. all around the world, and every place they tested had polychlorinated biphenyls. Mm-hmm. And we hadn't been making those transformers, you know, for thousands of years. So,
yeah.
So that happened pretty fast. Mm-hmm. And mercury, mm-hmm. you know, poison. You get mercury in fish. Mm-hmm. And people are worried about the mercury amalgams in their teeth. Mm-hmm. The methylate is a thiomerisol. It's a mercury compound. Mm-hmm. When I was a little kid and had a sore throat, the doctor used to stick it down
give you some direct mercury exposure.
Yeah, give me a little mercury poison. Those germs didn't like that mercury. But the question is, you know, with vaccinations and stuff, mm-hmm. how do we get rid of it? Mm-hmm. Well, there was always these heavy metals coming out of volcanoes erupting in the air and stuff. Mm-hmm. And so we've had that problem, and I found that our Creator has always worked out. He saw these problems and worked out the solutions, mm-hmm. if we'll just use them. Mm-hmm. And a lot of plants are able to activate the Nrf2 pathway, mm-hmm. which actually causes 500 or more genes to be activated and turned on, where mm-hmm. they can fix those parts of the cell again. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that those genes do is they remove these hazardous materials. Mm-hmm. They package them and release enzymes to digest all the amino acids and stuff that they can reuse. And then they have the remainders just left in that vesicle. Mm-hmm. and then it's eventually removed through our lymphatics onto the fiber in your intestine. That's why when you need to eat a lot of fiber so that you have a place to dump those trash bags
Yeah.
and carry it out.
Yeah.
And that's why high fiber diets help reduce cancer and other things, because you're able to get rid of these carcinogens.
Otherwise, they stay floating around in the body.
That's right.
Yeah.
So these adaptogens clean out the heavy metals and like the polyphenols and dioxin and Agent Orange stuff that you hear about. And so if you have access to these adaptogens, that's your solution. So that's it.
Sounds good to me. Guys, just another prime example of how these plants that have adaptogen properties really help the body do what it's designed to do. That's just another example of how the same group of plants, how they helped someone when they had damage to their cells from cancer or maybe from a virus, how it can also help remove toxins from the body that you may get from anywhere. I mean, my camera person here ate tuna fish today, even though it was tested for mercury. I guarantee you there's some in there.
Yeah, it's
Period.
low. They just guarantee it's got the lowest amount of mercury that you can find.
Right. So now, thankfully, our camera person is familiar with all of these adaptogens, and she can take some of them to help her remove some of these toxic metals that she gained today while getting that good protein from that yummy fish. Anyway, guys, until next time, this is for the health of it.